Chris Andersen, also known as the Birdman, he was faced with multiple legal issues which also involved substance use. On January 27, 2006, Birdman was dismissed and also disqualified from the NBA as he violated the league anti-drug policy. He also served as the first player in the NBA to be formally expelled under those rules. Based on his substance abuse, he was banned for 2 years. An arbitration hearing in March 2006 upheld his dismissal. He went on to file for reinstatement into the league and was cleared to return back in January 2008, while he signed with the Denver Nuggets. However, in May 2012, he was back in the news again. This time it involved the federal investigation based on a catfishing case. His home was thoroughly searched by the Douglas County sheriffs and agents from Internet Crimes Against Children, ICAC. At first, it was reported he was investigated for internet crimes against children, but upon further examination in September 2013, it was revealed that he wasn't a suspect in the case, but a victim of a catfishing scheme carried out by a Canadian woman named Shelley Chartier. After a series of investigations, the Colorado authorities confirmed they were not pursuing charges against him, as he was clear of any wrongdoing. After the incident, he moved on to the Miami Heat, where he went on to win the NBA championship in 2013. Terrence Williams. In 2021, Terrence Williams was charged in a case that involved a large-scale healthcare fraud scheme, which did involve the NBA, Health and Welfare Benefit Plan. And in August 2023, he was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison. He was the ringleader of the syndicate and also went on to recruit other players in the master plan. He created several false documents and also engaged in a plan to scam the league of over $2.5 million and with a general intent of $5 million. This false document and claims were filled between 2017 and 2021. Unfortunately, both him and his accomplices' fraudulent claims of dental procedures were later caught up. However, the league had already paid out over $300,000 to $650,000 to him based on a fake invoice. In August 2022, he pleaded guilty to the conspiracy of committing healthcare and wire fraud. The judge sentenced him to 10 years in prison, while she cited his reason as greed and his behavior as extortionate and aggressive. He was also ordered to pay the NBA healthcare provider $2.5 million in restitution and forfeit over $653,672.55 to the government. And following his prison term, he went on to face 3 years of supervised release. Other players involved in the conspiracy were charged and convicted in related proceedings. Shawn Kemp. Shawn Kemp was another NBA player who got involved in a shooting incident. In March 2023, he was involved in a shooting incident at the parking lot that was close to Tacoma Mall in Washington. The incident all began when Kemp's car got burglarized in Seattle. He proceeded to use an app in tracking down his car to the parking lot. On getting there, he confronted the person occupying his car in a bid to retrieve his Toyota 4Runner. But things didn't go as he planned. According to his recount, he claimed to have acted in self-defense when he was being shot at. However, based on the surveillance footage, it was revealed that he went on to retrieve a revolver from a backpack. Immediately, he exited his car and began firing at the 4Runner before it made effort to flee. On the other hand, the Pierce County prosecutor declined to file criminal charges against him as his claim of self-defense was supported by the Washington law. He was, however, charged to 30 days of electronic home monitoring as he pleaded guilty to a second-degree assault as part of a plea agreement. Jayson Williams. Jayson Williams was involved in a fatal shooting that occurred at his estate in Alexandria Township of New Jersey. On February 14, 2002, after Costa Gus Christophe, his limousine driver, had chauffeured both Williams and his friends from a charity event. He simply invited his driver to come tour his mansion, which dwells in a 65-acre estate. During the process of touring him, he went on to show him his double-barreled 12-gauge shotgun that was in his bedroom. Williams went on to pull the triage of the shotgun without checking if it was loaded or on safety. The gun discharged and went on to strike Christophe in the chest, and also killed him. According to reports, it was revealed that he had tried to cover up his death, but there were witnesses who came to recount the ordeal during the hearing of the case. And in 2004, a jury went on to acquit him of an aggravated manslaughter, but went on to convict him on 4 charges for trying to cover up the incident. He was charged based on fabricating evidence, tampering with a witness statement, and also hindering apprehension. By January 2010, in a bid to avoid another trial of reckless manslaughter, he went on to plead guilty to aggravated manslaughter. He was later sentenced to 5 years in jail for his cover-up conviction of the incident, and a concurrent 18-month sentence based on the aggravated charge. There was also a $2.75 million settlement awarded to the family of Christophe. If you're enjoying this video, subscribe to the channel and drop a like. Thanks. Sebastian Telfair. Sebastian Telfair was arrested in Brooklyn, New York on June 11, 2017. At around 2:50 a.m., the police spotted Telfair in his Ford F-150 on the Brooklyn median driving without any headlights. Upon searching the vehicle, they discovered a loaded, unlicensed .45 caliber pistol in his console, alongside other weapons and marijuana. He was taken into custody and was further charged based on criminal possession of a weapon. In April 2019, Telfair was found guilty on charges based on felony. He was convicted to 3.5 years in prison. This was not his first firearm charge, as he had previously pleaded guilty to criminal possession of a firearm in 2008, which resulted in a 3-year probation. Based on his age at the time of sentencing, 34 years, his career abruptly ended after he had been playing internationally before the incident. Lance Stephenson, NBA rookie at the time. Lance Stephenson was arrested in August 2010 in New York, which involved the mother of his child, Jayson Williams. According to reports by the police, Stephenson was alleged to have pushed her down the stairs of her Brooklyn apartment. It was stated that she fell, while he went on to grab her head and proceeded to slam it against the last step of the stairs. She was said to have sustained injuries during the altercation, injuries in her neck region, her head, and at her back. He was later charged with third-degree assault, and he eventually pleaded guilty to a lesser charge. And as part of the court ruling, he was later sentenced to 3 years of probation, which included a clause of counseling on anger management and requirements to avoid any legal violation during his probation period. The NBA, on the other hand, did not suspend, nor was he fined, as the league at the time would generally defer to the legal process and needed a conviction before a disciplinary action could be taken. As at the time of the incident, he was just making a grand entrance to the league, and the case had a dent on his image, as it remained in his profile. His team at the time, Indian Pacers, tagged the incident as disappointing, but made it known that they would monitor the situation. Jeff Taylor, who was playing for the Charlotte Hornets at the time, was arrested in September 2014 at Marriott Hotel in East Lansing, Michigan. He was accused of pushing a lady who was tagged to be his girlfriend into the hallway of the hotel during an argument which escalated into physical violence, while also damaging a door at the hotel, with noticeable injuries on the victim and significant damages to the hotel room, which was documented by the police. He was arrested and taken into custody. He was charged to court, where he pleaded guilty to domestic violence and malicious destruction of property said to be worth $1,000 and $200. The court went on to impose an 18 months probation, a mandated participation in a domestic violence intervention program and substance abuse program, and fines. The NBA, on the other hand, carried out an investigation into the incident, and he was suspended for 24 games without pay. The Charlotte Hornets went on to place him on a paid leave following his arrest, and they went on to agree to the suspension term which the league ruled on. Deshawn Stevenson, as a 20-year-old rookie with the Utah Jazz, was arrested for having sex with a 14-year-old girl. On June 6, 2001, in Fresno, California, himself and 2 of his former high school mates took 2 underage girls of 14 and 15 years old, respectively, to Howard Johnson Motel. The mother of the 14-year-old girl reported the situation to the police when she noticed her daughter came home late. According to recounts by the girls, they told the police Stevenson had given them brandy earlier, which made them become intoxicated. Upon further investigation, he admitted to having had sexual contact with her daughter on a recorded phone call with the mother of the 14-year-old. He was later apprehended and charged with a felony statutory rape, which had the potential of 3 years in a state prison. However, after several months of a plea deal, he was charged with a misdemeanor. And in February 2022, he was sentenced to 2 years of probation, 100 hours of community service, with a condition attached by the judge to be completed at a club for boys only, so as to avoid any contact with young girls. He was also fined with $1,100. Isaiah Rider. Former NBA dunk champion Isaiah Rider has a series of documented cases ranging from drug possession arrest, behavior issues, domestic violence, kidnapping charges, among other minor offenses. In 1996, he was arrested for marijuana possession and also possession of an illegal cellular phone in Oakland, California, while he was an active player with the Portland Trail Blazers. During the 1999 to 2000 season of the league, he was summoned to undergo a drug counseling session, based on reports of him smoking marijuana at the hotel while he was actively playing for the Hawks then. And by 2001, the NBA proceeded to suspend him for 5 games after he violated the league's anti-drug policy. By 2006, he was convicted for felony cocaine possession, which did lead to a 7-month jail sentence for him, alongside while still waiting to stand trial for kidnapping his then-girlfriend. In 2008, he was arrested again in Berkeley, California for the possession of an unlawful firearm and threatening a taxi driver. Despite being an important player on the court, his behavior and constant legal issues made him have strained relationships with several franchises he played for. His actions made it almost impossible for teams to rely on him for long periods of time. Eddie Curry. Eddie Curry is another player who had his share of NBA players scandal. In 2009, while playing for the Knicks, his former driver David Kuczynski filed a civil lawsuit against him on the grounds of sexual harassment and sued him for $5 million. In his recount, his driver made it known that Curry made inappropriate advances towards him and also engaged him in conduct that was hostile for his work. The lawsuit filed against him claimed $93,000 of unpaid wages, use of racial slur, and pointing a gun at him. His case was filed to a Chicago court and was treated as a civil matter. Curry, on the other hand, vehemently denied the allegations. After a series of hearings, the case was settled out of court based on agreement and specific terms which were not fully made public. According to reports, it was revealed that Curry settled his driver $300,000 off court, although the driver filed another case as he didn't agree to pay up to what he had initially agreed on. Despite the controversy, the NBA didn't discipline him or suspend him as it was a civil case. There you have it. Every NBA player scandal you need to know. Let me know in the comment section below which of this scandal did you remember vividly when it happened. Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share this video. Thanks for watching.